The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello everyone, this is Sandy Anastasi, and I would like to welcome all of you to my Psychic Hour. As you know, I do this free Psychic Hour monthly, and it is for you. Everyone here is equally got the possibility of having their questions answered directly, either by your raising your hand and asking them of me verbally, or typing them into the chat room or the question room, actually, where you'll see my assistant, Lisa. So I see so many new names on here this evening. I am delighted. And I do want to especially thank all of you tonight because this is such a very special night. First of all, of course, you know this is leap year, and so we have 29 days in February instead of just our normal 28. And so this is an extra special night because, as Lisa reminded me just a few minutes ago, tomorrow is a free day, friends. So it's that extra day you get every 4 years, so make the most of it. The other reason I'm so grateful myself to see all of you here this evening, to see this wonderful turnout of people, is that I'm competing with the Oscars, and we really have a full house. So I want to welcome everyone. I am so thrilled and excited. I can feel the energy just tingling in the air all around me and in the air between you and I as our guides gather to make this a very special evening this evening. The rules of the evening are very simple. When you come on, as soon as you know that you want to, have a question that you would like me to ask or answer, raise your hand. That's in the column next to your name. And when you raise that little hand, then Lisa, who's going to actually call on you, will be able to see who's got their hands raised. She will pretty much go in order with whoever gets their hand up there faster, but she will try to focus on people who haven't been able to ask questions in past sessions. So she tries to get new people in there to give you new folks a chance too. Also, remember, if you're shy and you don't want to have your voice on the air, well, then you are welcome to type your question into that question area or the chat area, and Lisa will read that out to me, and so you can still have your question answered even if you're not able to verbalize that question. Okay? I do have a couple of announcements I want to make before we get started this evening. So I would appreciate your attention to this just for a minute. Some very exciting things coming up. This March is chock full of so much activity in my world. I just want to share it with you. First of all, you'll want to jot down on your calendar that the next Psychic Hour is going to be on March 13th. It's not a Friday, folks. It's a Sunday, March 13th. It's going to be a great evening. I also want to let everyone know who has access to the Tampa area in Florida about a few things we've got coming up this month. First of all, my 4-day Psychic Development Immersion class is going to be from March 17th through March 20th. And that is it's a 4-day immersion. The first 2 days, we learn to channel. The second 2 days of it, we start to learn the beginnings of mediumship. So this is a really important session if those areas interest you. You can check that out and find out how to register right on my website, www.sandyanastasi.com. Now, in conjunction with that, we are having our very first Anastasi System Psychic Fair that graduates and teachers of the Anastasi System are going to come together and present. And that's going to be on March 18th. It's going to be the Friday night during that whole seminar. So that's going to be just a magical immersion. The Psychic Fair will have 15-minute readings being offered, again, by Anastasi System grads. These are many of them professional readers, teachers. And those readings are only $20 for 15 minutes. So if you're in that Tampa area, that's at the Sheraton West Shore Airport Hotel on Friday night, the 18th, from 7 to 10 p.m. Don't miss it. That's going to be so exciting. Now, another thing that's going on that weekend, my very own assistant Lisa, who a lot of people don't know is a fabulous psychic medium, is going to be doing a messages session on the Saturday night in conjunction with that immersion weekend. And so that is going to be on the 19th of March. And her session will start at 7 p.m. If you've never attended a messages session with Lisa, you really owe yourself to find a way to be there, because it's magical. It's absolutely magical. She is a fabulous medium and does a wonderful job educating at the same time that she does her fabulous readings. Now, I'm not done. We have a webinar coming up in March on the 24th at 8 p.m. And those of you who have children don't want to miss this, because it's 6 ways of connecting with our psychic children in today's world. And those of you like me who don't have children still don't want to miss that, because guess what? These children are very special that are coming up in our world right now. They are all psychic, and they're creating a new world that we're going to live in. And I'm going to tell you about what's coming in the future, what these kids are going to be bringing in over the next 5, 10, 15 years. And this is your future life. So don't miss that webinar. It's very inexpensive. It's $25. Again, very fabulous energy in these webinars. Please don't miss that if those areas are of interest to you. One last thing, we do have our first psychic cruise coming up in April. That'll be from April 18th through April 21st. There are still openings. If you want to register for that psychic cruise, I understand that the buttons on the website are not working yet. I'm transitioning my website to a new hosting company, a new server. So we've got a few little glitches right now. That'll get worked out within the next week. Meanwhile, if you want to register for that, contact Lisa, give her your information, and she'll connect you with the travel agent. Okay, you can contact Lisa at Lisa S.A. Inc. at AOL.com. That's Lisa S.A. Inc. at AOL.com. Okay, I'm done with all of my announcements, and we can jump right into your questions. Folks, what makes this evening so magical is that when I do these readings, I'm in channel. And my guides are giving this information. My guides do these readings. I give you the information they're giving me. And my guides are talking to your guides. So it's fascinating. I've had many people on these calls tell me, I didn't have the courage to raise my hand, but you answered every question that was in my mind. So remember, our guides are talking. And even if you haven't directly asked your question, keep listening, because so much of this information is going to be for you and is going to help you with the very issues you're most concerned with in your life right now. Lisa, who is our first person? And while Lisa's looking down the list to see who she's going to choose, I want to remind you, I would like you to come on and give me your name, where you're calling from, what your sun sign is, and what you are most grateful for this evening. And after that, I'll take your question. Okay, so your name, your place you're calling from, your sun sign, and what you're most grateful for. Lisa, who's our first person?
Well, I'm going to take a shot at this. I thought I saw her hand up, and now it's not up. But she was the first one, so I'm going to call on her anyway. So, Cindy, I'm going to unmute you.
Hello, Cindy. Are you there?
Hello?
Hey, Cindy.
Hi.
So, Cindy,
Can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah. Okay.
And where are you calling?
I'm calling from Beatty, Nevada. I'm near, I guess, Death Valley, California. That's the closest place.
Wow. I've been there. It's lovely.
It's hot.
Yes. I like hot. I live in Florida. And what are you most grateful for in your life right now, Cindy?
I'm talking to you right now, and I've never called in, and I've just reached you, and I really believe my friend is guiding me directly to you, and she's cut a lot of red tape per se,
Awesome.
because I didn't have my hand up, and I just wrote my name down when Lisa called my name.
God, you
I
like
didn't,
so the
yeah,
guides are talking to your guides too.
yeah.
And what's your sun sign, Cindy?
I'm a Leo.
Cool. You're going to get a little astrology lesson. Whenever I do my psychic hours, I cast this chart. Okay, it's cast for the particular day of that psychic hour at 9 p.m. And these charts are what we call a horary chart in astrology. And every single person who is on this call, every one of you, your questions are answered in this chart. It's absolutely amazing how horary astrology works. So my guides are astrologers, so I work with this as well as cards, and I channel and I see things flying through the air. And relative to the astrology, Leo is on the 11th house of this chart, okay? And you
Okay.
see that part of this is in the 10th house and part of this is in the 11th. So you're going to have a lot of things going on right now that have to do with career issues, that have to do with things if you're married or in a relationship with your spouse's family. You're having a lot of stuff going on with friends and a lot of creative things, a lot of issues in your life that have to do with giving and taking and where to draw those boundaries. Okay, so armed with that knowledge, what is your specific question that you'd like our guides to ask or answer this evening?
Who is my guide?
Uh-huh. Okay, who is your guide? Cindy, the first thing, I mean, that was pretty specific, but the first thing I want to ask you back again do you have both your parents still alive, because I'm getting that your guide is a mother, but I'm not sure if she's your mother in this lifetime or if she's a grandmother that I'm getting who comes through as a mother figure. But your guide says, I'm your mother.
Wow. Okay. That makes sense. My mother's alive, but also my great grandmother is passed, and her and my mother were the best of friends. So,
Okay, and it may be that when you were a very young child that she was very instrumental in raising you. Okay.
oh yeah.
She also says she's got a direct message for you, and she says that you really had a lot on your plate over this last 6 months, especially, but even over the last couple of years, and it's gotten to a point where you're like one more thing, and I can't handle it. And she says you're out of the woods. Things get easier from here on. Isn't that nice?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Now, you have other guides too. I do believe that, in fact, I know that all of us come into life with a very high level guide that is a life guide that we've had probably for many, many lifetimes. We also come into life with a protector guide whose primary job throughout our life is to protect us in whatever area we need protection in order to grow spiritually. So we always have those two guides that we're born with, and it's very common, more common than people realize, for them to have people in the family who have been close friends or relatives or that they've had an earlier relationship in their life, that after those people pass, the bond of love is so strong that they remain, this is not earthbound I'm talking about, but they remain connected through that bond of love to continue to give guidance and love and support. So it's not unusual to see a great grandmother who still acts as a guide, especially somebody who gave you nurtures when you were a child. I see that frequently. I see husbands and wives connecting through the veil, one of them continuing to help the other. Very, very common. So it's one of the things I'm glad that you brought up, because so many people, when they lose somebody that they have deep feelings, really feel like they'll never see that person again. And that's just not true. I love Esther Hicks because she says there is no death. We are alive here, and then we're alive there. I just love that
Oh,
concept.
I listen to her often. Yeah.
I told you my guides channel, they talk to us. So,
Wow.
Cindy, thank you very much. I appreciate your call and I appreciate your question. And I am also going to tell you I see travel all around you. So soon there's going to be travel for you.
Boy. Okay.
Oh, don't say
Thank you.
wait, this is good. This is good stuff. Okay.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling.
Enjoy.
Okay.
Thank you.
And Lisa, who is our next person?
Okay, the next person I'm going to call on is Daisy. Daisy, you are unmuted.
Hello, Daisy. Daisy, are you there? Daisy, can you hear me? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Took a while to find the microphone, I guess, huh?
Yeah, hi. I have a question because I am Gemini,
Yes. Okay.
and a few times in my life, I have now 61 years, 60 years, and three times in my um, past, I have very big ups and downs in my business career. I've been very successful and then bankrupt almost.
Yeah,
So I
Daisy,
am,
I want to back you up a little bit, okay? Where are you calling from,
yeah,
Daisy?
from Ljubljana.
Can you say that again
Ljubljana,
slower?
Ljubljana, Slovenia,
Oh, I'm not
Europe,
Europe, but what country?
Slovenia.
Slovenia. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, my heart's just doing some flips. These airwaves are reaching Slovenia, folks. Yes, thank you so much for calling, Daisy. And Daisy, what are you most grateful for this evening?
Because even if it's during the night, it's 3 in the morning in my country,
Yeah.
so I, I wake up and I start to listen you. And I'm grateful because I realize that you are a real master in whatever you do.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
But now, that's cheating. What are you grateful for in your own life? And by the way, I
For my own life.
feel that way, but what are you grateful for in your life, in your world, right now?
Right now, I'm grateful because this weekend I have my grandson with me, and I love him very much, and we have spent nice weekend.
Oh, that is wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that, Daisy. That just is very uplifting for everyone to hear. Thank you. And
Uh,
relative to your question, and Daisy, I've got to tell you that you probably aren't going to like the answer very much. First of all, you are a Gemini like me. And one of the interesting things about the sign Gemini is that we always have to experience life on both sides of an issue. It's almost like our guides are saying that you'll never totally understand something unless you see it from both sides. So it's amazing that all we Geminis have to do is look at something and say, oh, I'd never do that. And like 2 years later, we're doing it.
yeah,
It's almost like life says you've got to have this total experience. So, Geminis just don't do black and white really very well because life constantly, as soon as you polarize, it forces you into that position so that you can understand what it's all about. So part of this bouncing back and forth career-wise is just plain old part of your life experience, part of your life journey to see the whole thing. The other part, though, the part you're not going to like so much, is that you keep, I'm going to say, picking the wrong partners. And this is not just in your business, but what happens for you is when you become emotionally involved with someone who needs you, and that could be a husband, it could be your daughter, it could be your best friend, it could be one of your relatives. the thing is, when you become emotionally involved with that person, and then that person begins to either actually be a part of your business or to just need you too much instead of you being able to put the attention into the business, you divide your energy. And every
Mm.
single time you divide your energy, your business takes a dive. It happens every time. And what's amazing to me is that you have, you're a pretty sharp gal because you've been able to pick that business up and rebuild it and move into the next thing and be successful. So there is no problem with your capability of building success. The thing is, you keep wanting to share it, and it's sharing it isn't in. It's not something which is in your cards this lifetime, because when it divides your attention, it divides your energy, and now you're the one with the vision. When you allow somebody else to grab the energy of that vision, they can't sustain the business. Did that just make sense to you?
Absolutely, yes.
Yep.
Because yeah, in the moment, my daughter have big problem, and whole last year, I he, she just take all my energy, and
Yeah.
I for me this is very difficult and painful.
And I've got to tell you, I totally understand. I empathize. I'm a Gemini too. I understand how this works in business. And the only advice that I have for you is that if you're going to really have a successful business and still be able to maintain the relationship with your family that you feel you're supposed to have as the grand dame, as the grandmother, you're going to have to compartmentalize very powerfully. And those hours you give to your business are they're sacred. Nothing touches them. And when you're doing your business, nobody is allowed to call you. Nobody is allowed to knock on that door. You getting my point? Now, that doesn't mean that you don't do the same exact thing when you're dealing with your family. When you're with your husband or when you're with your daughter, nothing interferes with that either. So compartmentalizing is what I'm talking
Mm.
about. And that's about the only thing you're going to be able to do that's going to allow you to maintain the level of success that you know you're capable of. And I want to thank you very much, Daisy, because my guides are saying to me that there are at least 7 or 8 other people on this call this evening, and some of them are men who are having the exact same problem right now that you are having. So that was a very good question because it answers a lot of issues that a lot of people are having right now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for bringing that up, and good luck. And thanks for calling all the way from, how do I say it?
So, Slovenia.
Slovenia. Wow, that's a long, long way. 3 o'clock in the
Yeah.
morning. I'm very grateful for you to be here. Thank you.
Thank you too. Bye.
And Lisa, who is our next caller?
Okay, our next caller is going to be Jessica C. Jessica, you are unmuted.
Hello, Jessica. Jessica, are you able to hear me?
Hi, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can. Welcome, Jessica.
Hi, how are you?
And
Hi, I'm calling from Central New Jersey,
uh-huh.
and actually this is my first time tuning in, and I am an Aquarius.
And what are you most grateful for in your life right now, Jessica?
Right now, I'm very grateful for my family and my friends that I have their support.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much for sharing that. And I'm grateful that you have them too. Jessica, looking at this astrology chart, this horary chart, your sun sign falls into the tail end of the 4th house of the home and family. And it also falls into most of this 5th house, that's a great house. It has to do with dealing with your children. It has to do with anything that involves games of chance and luck. So this is a lucky time for you. And it also has to do with romance. So, of course, any of the Aquarians who are on this call, you're experiencing this too. And if you happen to be single, what a great time for meeting somebody and having this lovely romantic encounter. If you are married, and Jessica, I think you are, okay,
Yes.
it's a good time for you to maybe plan a little bit of time to be alone with the husband, to bring that romance back into your relationship with that fun, fun times that you have together. Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, it's a really good time. Now, it's also a very creative time for you. So if you or your husband, because you're falling very close together in what my guides are telling me, but one of you, or it could be both of you, are engaged in some very creative activities right now. And that could be together or it could be separately. But something that you've been putting a lot of work and time into is in the process of unfolding in a really nice way. This little Neptune in here, which is very close to, it's in Pisces, but it's very close to Aquarius. See that?
Mm-hmm.
That house.
Yes.
And I've got to tell you that that's making it extremely good for your creative endeavors, but it's making it a little hard for you to be understood. So when you're talking to family members and they're not getting it, please don't get mad at them. They probably aren't hearing the words you think you're saying. So instead of just getting louder and repeating the same thing, try and change your sentences or use different word patterns because a lot of the misunderstandings going on around you right now have to do with you. You really are in such a creative mode that you think people are hearing things that you're actually not saying. Okay?
Okay.
So, what's your specific question?
My question was regarding children, and what you see, in our future for my husband and I regarding a child.
Oh, you're definitely going to have children. You notice that I didn't say any child. I said children. You know,
Okay.
I'm seeing definitely one, but there's also a possibility of two more. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And so, of course, the first thing that came into my mind, and this isn't what my guides are telling me, my mind is, you wouldn't have to be taking fertility drugs, would you?
I am actually, and I didn't want to say that, but I am. Yes.
Because I could see. I mean, here you are. You're wanting a child, and I could see twins, possibly triplets. Okay, but there's a
Oh,
guarantee.
okay.
Yeah. And I don't know how long you've been trying, but
Hmm.
I'm getting between 2 and 3, and I think that would be months from now. Okay, so you're very close to getting pregnant,
Okay.
and it will change
Okay,
your
good.
life dramatically.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now
That's okay.
they're showing me something else here too, which is interesting. And I'm not sure. I have to tell you, from my own background, I'm not sure if I'm reading into this or not. But they're showing me a child who's looking a little bit Asian, and I don't think that is going to be your child. So the first thing I was going to say is, wow, is there the possibility of Asian blood in there somewhere that he could look a little bit Asian? And then I realized, no, that's not what it is. A long time ago, I predicted a child being born that was born early, and that was because the timing was wrong on it. And I'm wondering if the same thing might happen with you. This woman was actually taking, the doctor was giving her things to suppress the baby from being born. And, I just said to her, you may as well not even bother because this kid's coming. You can't hold him back. Okay. I think the message is there. You can't hold them back. They're coming. Okay.
Okay.
And you're going to have to come back to me at a future date and tell me how many of them actually showed up in that one birth.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Possibilities. And seriously,
Thank you.
there will either be one now and one or two later, or there will be a dual birth now and then one later. But I'm seeing 3 kids. Okay.
Okay. Wow. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Okay, and Lisa, who is next?
The next person I'm going to call on is Stefan. Stefan, you are unmuted.
Hello, Stefan. Stefan, can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Lisa, I'm not getting anything here. I think that Stefan may have stepped away.
Okay, I'll mute him and then we will try somebody else.
Okay.
Okay, let me go down and see if I can find Nicole.
And Stefan, if you do, come back to the mic, you were called, and if you type your question into the question area, Lisa will see it, and she'll be able to bring you back up then. Okay? Lisa?
Yeah, we'll try him again in a few minutes.
Yeah.
All right, Nicole, you are unmuted.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can.
Hi, so I guess, oh, you said where am I calling from? Actually calling from Tampa, and I'm an Aquarius, and what's the other thing? Well, you said what are you most grateful for? First, I was going to say that I had a part-time job today, and which was, I guess, kept me a little busy, kept my mind busy. And I was grateful for that, and then also I thought I was grateful for my friends and family because, well, I feel like I've been going through a hard time, so I guess that goes through my question. And my question would be based on I met this guy about a month ago, almost exactly, and I thought things were going well, and I got a little impatient, and I told him one night when he called me, he was calling me almost every day at the end, 2.5 weeks that we were seeing each other. He said, or I said, why are you calling me? Are you asking me out? And then I immediately apologized, and then ever since then, it felt like he was distant and he decided not to see me anymore, to the point that he didn't call me back, and I had to try to talk to him, and I did, and then he said he was too busy with his work and he was stressed out with his work. I know he's a Taurus and he's born May 12th. And then also,
Yeah, as always, there is more to the story than meets the eye. You're only getting your half. So let's not go into poor me and, oh, I screwed up this relationship before it even got off the ground. Okay, don't even.
yeah,
Okay? You have every right to ask that question and to see, hey, I want to know where I stand with you. Are you asking me out or are we just friends? You have every right to ask that. If you, I'm sorry, this is like advice to the lovelorn, and I'm sorry to go here, but I think it's important because you're not, it's not that you're young, but you're inexperienced. My guide's telling me this, you're inexperienced relative to people, okay? Because you tend to be very direct and very upfront, and people always know exactly where they stand with you. So when it comes to this dating game, you have difficulty with that because you expect everyone is going to be as upfront with you as you are with them. You have every right to ask that, every right to demand that, because you see, you are so open that if you don't expect and require the same openness of your prospective mate, you will get hurt every time. Please remember that. You did nothing wrong there. Now, what's going on the other side of this? I immediately asked my guides, is this guy married? I got to know. But he was either he was living with somebody or it was close enough that it was like he was living with somebody. And that relationship was not entirely done. Okay? So you see, you came along and he got very interested in you and he really has got all the moves, and so you really fell for him very quickly, but he's not making any commitment because he's not sure where he stands with the old situation, which is done. So it's not like he was cheating, okay? It's done, but he's not recovered. He's not ready to move on, okay? And so what happened is that you're asking for him to make a decision, which you have every right to do. And meanwhile, what he did is he turned around and he decided to look that other person back up again. He is not all busy with work. He is all busy with a past relationship, which you need to know about. And it's not going to work because it didn't work the last time. And it's a burden and it's an obligation to him. And it's making his job a whole lot difficulty, at work. So he's creating a lot of conflict in his own life right now, which you didn't create. He did. And he will be back when that other relationship doesn't work out. The question at that point is going to be, will you want him? Okay?
Is that all I can ask? Because right now I'm feeling extremely, I got really depressed after, and I really felt like I tried to win him back, and I contacted him, and he's definitely been trying to ignore me, I think. And it really bothers me
But,
that he might be.
but,
Uh-huh.
okay? This is that advice to the lovelorn again going on here, okay? He's been letting you call him. He's been answering the phone, hasn't he?
No, actually, I actually deleted his number, so it was through social media. I sent him a message.
But he ignored and then he responded. And then he ignored and then he responded. And you deleted.
No, he actually hasn't responded so far, as of as of Friday.
As of Friday. Before that, he was. Okay?
Yeah, a week
Yes.
ago.
The reason he was, what I'm trying to say here is that you've been getting strung along. And the reason you've been getting strung along is because, you're desirable. And just in case the other thing doesn't work out, he's got to have somebody in the wings waiting, and you're it.
So I'm his second choice because that doesn't sit well with me.
Good girl. Okay? And no, you're not.
I'm just.
And
Did I prompt him to look her back up? Because he really liked me, so he thought, I got to make sure I finish this with my ex.
Nope, there you are. You're trying to take responsibility again. This isn't your responsibility, okay? What has happened here, and this is so common, it's not just common with you, is that you only have a half of the story here. It's your half. And because things didn't work out the way you thought they were going to work out, you immediately are assuming responsibility without knowing the other half of the story. Now, he's not being honest enough to give you the other half of the story because, you see, he doesn't know if this person from the past that didn't work out then is going to work out now. And it's not that, how could I put it? It's not that you're a second choice. She was there first. You're not a second choice. But he met you and he liked you. But then he had the opportunity to give it a second try with her. He doesn't want to let you.
So she came back. She came back because I showed up and then she showed up and tried to steal him away.
And now you're coming to understand something about how human energy works, doesn't it? So apparently,
yeah, exactly.
He was hanging on to her, and she was loving that wash of energy, and his attention turned to you, and he let go of her, and she said, "Oh, I want that back," so she came back. And the thing is, it's not going to work out between him and her. But you lost something very special because that when a relationship launches and two people first meet one another and your feeling is that both people are giving so much to that situation that nothing is being held back. And when he pulled back to deal with this old thing and didn't discuss it with you, you felt it. That's why you held on. He didn't discuss it with you. He just did it. By doing that, he changed the entire foundation. He changed all the potential within your relationship. So if he does come back and you say, wow, I won, I got him back, the likelihood is that it's not going to go anywhere because you're never going to have that same joy that you had before.
No, I think I've lost my trust and I'm really hurt right now, and I'm more hurt than I expected I would be, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think the reason you're hurt, and again, I'm hoping everybody here is listening because this is not uncommon. Your story is Both men and women experience this. Your story is an old, old story, and it comes from one person not being open and honest with the other person. That's really what's at the core of your disappointment and your hurt, because you thought you had this open, wonderful, perfect relationship. You got along so well, and then all of a sudden he flaked out on you, and he didn't explain why.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
definitely.
what I really want to leave you with is something entirely different. Okay, guess what? Let him go, because I just picked this card for you. That's, you know what
What
that's?
is it?
The Fool. And the fool doesn't mean you're foolish. The Fool is a new beginning. You see, apparently you were very blocked. And when he came into your life and it felt so natural, you unblocked, you relaxed. For the first time in a long time, you had hope in a relationship. Don't hang on to this. Feel joy that you are now unblocked, because right around the corner there's this dynamite relationship for you. And it's probably not with him. Okay?
I don't. How am I supposed to know who the right person is?
Well, let me tell you, you will know. When that kind of relationship comes in, you know. Okay? You're going to know. Okay? And it's soon. It's very close. But and the value of this other guy is that he got you to unblock yourself and open up and say, I'm ready to have a real relationship. That's cool. That's very
Uh-huh.
good. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck to you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And Lisa, who is our next person?
Well, I think Stefan has his problem fixed,
Excellent.
so I'm going to unmute Stefan. Stefan, you're unmuted.
Hey, Stefan.
Thank you for giving me a chance to speak to you.
Excellent. Me too. I'm glad you did. Stefan, where are you calling from?
I'm from Melbourne, Australia.
Another long, long way away. Thank you for getting up so super early to speak with us. And Stefan,
Middle of the day for me.
what are you? What's your sun sign, and what are you most grateful for right now?
So I'm a Leo, and I'm most grateful for the love of my kids.
And thank you very much for sharing that. I love when women say, "Hey, gee, I'm so grateful to the love of my children." But I've got to tell you, my heart just does backflips when I hear a guy say that. So I think that's great that you have that special relationship with the family. That's wonderful. And here you
Thank
are
you.
up here astrologically, and you do some astrology, don't you, Stefan? No, you don't.
Yes.
Yeah, you do, but you don't. Could you stop?
I don't do astrology, but I do believe in more psychic powers rather than astrology.
Okay. Because what my guides are saying is that you don't do astrology, but you have followed astrology. And they're saying
That's right.
need to do astrology. Stefan, you could be a fabulous astrologer. And there are,
Okay.
yeah, and Australia has got some amazing astrologers. So I know there are some wonderful places there that you can go in person and study. And I also have some courses online myself. You can study in astrology. Check them out on my website. But you just have a real gift for it. An astrologer's mind works in, it's like the average person does A, B, C, D, E. It's a linear mind. An astrologer's mind works A, F, Z, X, O, G. Okay? The astrologer's mind is able to see the whole picture from component particles. And that's exactly how my mind works. And it would be a fabulous tool for you in whatever line of work you're in as well. It's interesting you talked about your children, because I see your children right here in the chart. Okay, it's on this axis where you're represented. You're in the 10th house, 11th house. There are a lot of work issues going on for you right now. And you may also be thinking of maybe making a change of residence in order to really do what you want to do with your job. Does that fit in with what's going on?
Well, change of residence will come if I'm successful, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. And I think you will be, and I think it will come. Okay? So what's your particular question?
Well, mine's kind of difficult because I've been unemployed just for a few months, but I'm really trying to change career, but see, I'm really torn at crossroads because I'm not sure whether I should be employed, I should follow my own path, or follow what my guides are telling me, because my guides are telling me to do something completely different, and it's kind of a scary thing to do. I'm
Now,
torn. I'm not sure if
is what your guides are telling you to do, will that entail that change in residence?
no,
Yes.
no, not.
Yes.
If it works,
Yes.
I will change the residence. I'll
It
be able
will.
to afford it.
It will. Okay. My guides are saying that you need. It's not so much a self-employed, but it's not going back and working for the same field that you've been in. So it's got to be
Yeah.
working with somebody else or some group, but totally different than what you've been doing. And yes, go ahead and do it. It's going to involve study. You're perfectly capable of it. It will involve a change of residence sooner than you think, by the way, and you're going to love it. And you're going to be good at it. Can you share with us what it is?
Yes, but I was told not to share with my family and friends. Like I shouldn't brag about it. But what it is basically, this is why I'm not sure if it's right or not, because it's saying to gamble, to make two simple bets. I'm going to be shown what to do. I've seen it in the past. I've seen someone do it in the past, and I couldn't believe that it actually happened. So now it's coming back to me. Now I see why I was shown what to do. But with the winnings, that's not for me. I have to use half the winnings to help others on their spiritual journey. Like basically pay for Reiki courses, that sort of field, help others find their path. And it's kind of weird because I didn't think that we're allowed to gamble and use meditation, that sort of thing for that purpose. So that's why I'm like, is this my telling this, or is this something else that I shouldn't be listening to?
What I'm going to do, I'm going to ask you to listen to a very well-known marketing guru by the name of Eben, E-B-A-N, Pagan, P-A-G, I think it's E-N, but it might be A-N. Go on to his website and take one of his classes that is about money psychology.
Yep.
Because what he blows the lid off it, and it's really very important. We all of us people in the spiritual area, we have a feeling. I think we've all been raised in a way, or brought up by our parents in a way that makes us feel that if we have a lot, we must have done something bad to get it. Or if we have a gift, we should not use it to be able to get money or to get stuff. Okay? Well, that whole thinking is incorrect. The universe has an unlimited amount of everything. Okay? The only thing that limits what you can have or what you can do or what you can achieve or what you can experience is your own mind that you set limits to. And from my perspective, the only thing that could possibly cause harm or be wrong with having is if you took that something from someone else. But because the universe has an unlimited amount, you don't have to take something from someone else. Does this all make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay, now I've got that information because I've listened to Eben Pagan. Okay, because like you, I had that self-limiting, well, I'm not supposed to be able to generate a really good income because after all, I'm only a woman, or psychics are supposed to only be good people who give it away. You see, I had all those things in my mind, and those things are absolutely not correct. You are allowed to make as much money as you want, and you are allowed to do wonderful, good stuff with it. But you've got to change your patterning because you've got some self-hypnosis going on there that comes out of the child life that you came out of the family structure, and you've got to do some work on that patterning to be able to escape it so that you You're no longer being controlled by your own limitations.
Okay.
Okay? And I want to thank you very much for bringing that question up. We've had a couple of people on the call this evening that were kind of touching upon the same issue. And I think we're getting closer and closer to I always see each group that comes on here always has kind of a group gestalt where we're working on very similar issues, even though we're spread out all over the world. And I think we're getting closer and closer to some of those core issues. So thank you for sharing that.
Okay, thank you, Sandy.
And good luck with everything. And I do want to tell you something else that in my own experience, I'm very close to somebody who, well, let me tell you the story. I do messages sessions rarely. I am doing a messages session on our cruise, by the way, if anyone wants to see Sandy do a messages session, go on the cruise. But I do them very rarely. And years back, I did a messages session in the store I owned, the Star Child, and my husband at the time, whom obviously was very close to, on the way home. Now, mind you, I did the messages session. I opened this giant channel. He and I are connected. On the way home, he stops and picks up a lottery ticket that won the lottery. You see the connection between the spirit and, you see, now he's always been able to use his psychic energy to target which thing, like which investment to make, which thing is going to bring money in. And he's very conscious of doing that. It doesn't mean that he's wrong to do that. What it means is that when he does bring that in, he uses it in some way that's going to help somebody in addition to himself. He brings it in, he gives it back. And that's another part of that thing, is that you'll hear about this from Esther and Abraham Hicks. You've got to keep it flowing. If it comes in, it's got to go out. If it comes in, it's got to go out. And it can't be just for yourself, so your thinking is correct there. It's got to be for yourself and other people. And that keeps that flow going. Okay? Very good.
Yeah, makes sense.
Good concepts. Thank you so much, and good luck with everything. Drop me a line. Let me know.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
And Lisa, who is our next person? I think I might, if I move fast, I may have time for 2 more people.
Alrighty, let's go down here to Amy. Amy, you are unmuted.
Thank you.
Amy, can you hang up? Mute your mic. Okay. Wow. That was like the most exuberant thank you I've ever heard. Okay. I think that what may have happened is Lisa's mic was still open while yours was open, and it created that. That was so fun. Amy, what's your sun sign?
I am a Gemini.
Okay, wow. This is the Gemini, Leo, and Aquarian nights. I love it. And where are you calling from?
Massachusetts.
Oh, love it. Beautiful. No snow up there now, though, thank goodness, right?
Thank goodness.
Yeah, you folks have been getting a really cold winter. And what are you most grateful for?
I am most grateful for my sister.
Very nice. And, you know, Gemini is the sign of the child. Not children, but the childlike character, and also the sibling. Okay, isn't that cool? So, what's your question?
Well, I'm kind of at the crossroads. I feel like I'm at the crossroads of my life. It's just my sister and I, and we live together. We just sold a house that belonged to my mom and dad, who are no longer with us on the earth, that is. And we can do anything we want to do because we are totally unencumbered. But we feel stuck. I think we always have felt stuck. There's nothing stopping us, and there's nobody in our lives who has ever told us you can't do this or you can't do this. We've always been encouraged, yet we can't get our feet off the ground. We're like in cement.
Do you know, again, I'm going to, please pardon me, but guides us are directing you to do this, go back in time because both your sister and yourself were raised that you were supposed to get married. There was going to be this big, strong man who was going to lead the way, and he was going to make all life decisions. And here you are with each other, and there are no big, strong men that are going to make all the decisions that are going to make you and she very happy and healthy and secure, right? That's the thing that's got you spinning your wheels. You were raised. You have a family patterning that says that you're supposed to be the support system. Now that would work great if one of you was the leader and the other was the support in this sister duo, but that's not the case. You both want to be the support person. One of you has to take the lead. Okay? I'm going to make a suggestion that you and your sister have a meeting of the minds and really talk about the things in life that you love to do educationally that have attracted you. Were you attracted to making pottery? Were you attracted to art? Were you attracted to music or psychic development? Or maybe you weren't attracted to education at all, but you really, really like photography. Or you really, really like, you getting where I'm going? What I'm going to suggest is that you and your sister get together and you have this discussion and you sit there and you talk about all the things that you really love. And while you're talking, she makes a list. And while she's talking, you make a list. And when you're done, you're going to see that you both have this long list of things that bring you happiness and joy and fulfillment. And guess what? Organize that list. Find some common denominators, because maybe you and she'll take a class or two together, or maybe there are no common denominators, in which case you've got to give each other permission to go off and find your own enjoyment outside of that space. The thing is that I can't speak for your sister, because I've got to say my guides are telling me that you and she really are very different people. And at the core, your wants and your needs are very different. So they're directing me to you. And they're saying that, you really are a very ambitious woman. And you want to leave your mark. And you do want to do something which is going to be maybe not successful in a wow, like I made $1 million kind of success, but successful in a way that you leave your mark, that you had some strong effect. And that requires that you get down into yourself to find out what it is you really want to be when you grow up. And then put your feet on the path to do it. And that shouldn't have to be tied to your sister. It would be great if she follows you on that journey, but she may not, because her inner desires are quite different than yours. Okay?
Really?
Yeah. Okay? Yes. Believe it or not, I think that if you didn't both have the same way of being raised, which, like I said, you were both raised to be the support system, you are more the leader and she would be more the support person. Okay?
I see.
Yep.
Do you see anything with music for us?
Well, I see a desire for the music, but I'm going to be asking this more bluntly. If you were to do the music on your own, would you be successful with it? Not really.
I know.
Because you won't do it on your own. If you do it with her, will you be successful with it? Again, not really. And, if you recall earlier in this call, there was a woman who said, why have I not been able to keep my successful business successful? Why is it on this roller coaster ride? And I told her it was because she was picking the wrong partners. Relative to your music career, if you were doing that musical journey on your own, which you won't do because you want it to happen with your sister. But if you did it on your own, you would make it work and you would be successful. Now, if she did it on her own, she would not, because she is the more of the support person. And so in your case, that connection relative to your music is kind of sandbagging you. But that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy it and have fun with it and love it. Does that make sense to you?
Okay.
Yeah, I know that.
Sure.
I know that's not what you wanted to hear, but I think if you wanted to do something with your sister, it would, well, first of all, your sister seems to always need or want to bring either a boyfriend or another friend or, somebody else into the mix. So it ends up not just being the two of you. She draws in a third party, which makes it always a little bit hard to get right down to what the two of you want to do. But if the two of you were going to be successful with something as a twosome, it would be more likely to be some kind of a business, like a little boutique or a store or something like that.
That's interesting. And anything in the psychic development or spiritual realm?
Relative to you, it would be a wonderful thing for you to get involved with and to work with. How about relative to your sister? Again, not so much. Now, that's not to say that she's not psychic and sensitive, but she would not apply herself to it the way you would. Frankly, you're the one who is more driven and has more ambition.
Okay.
Okay? And that's not a bad thing. But, if you fail in any way, it's that you keep projecting yourself onto your sister. Now,
Yes.
if you can step back and say, okay, let me assume she's different. Now let me look at who she really is. Okay? I think that's going to help you a lot because there are places you guys can be very successful together, but you haven't moved in that direction yet. Okay?
Okay. Speaking of moves, would there be a good place for us to move?
Not for about 2, and I'm going to say years, although it could be 2 months, but I'm thinking it's more likely 2 years, or 2 years. And I don't know what's holding you up there. I think it's because you're kind of still looking. You're not sure of your path, and it's going to take about 2 years before you're really feeling very, very focused on it.
And do you have a location?
Not yet, because you're not focused yet. It depends.
Okay.
You have, see, God, you really are a typical Gemini. You don't have one focus. You don't even have 2 focuses. You have like 5 different things that are attractive to you that you may do. And depending on what you do, you go to an entirely different locality. So no, I can't predict that right now.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Sandy.
Thank you. And one last caller. I said I would do 2 more. So Lisa, one last person.
And that lucky person is Gwen. You are unmuted.
Hello.
Hey.
Please, hello there.
Hi. Sandy, can you hear me?
I can.
Wonderful. This is Gwen. I'm calling from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. My son's sign is Pisces. Birth date is March 12th. And gratitude, I have gratitude for my family.
And happy birthday, because you've got one coming up real soon.
I do. Thank you.
Most of your sign is down here in the 5th house, all about children, creativity, romance, and also in the 6th house, which says you have a lot of health issues on your mind right now. It could be your own family members. Also, there could be some changes going on at work and in whatever it is you're doing in your daily life. It's almost like there's an opportunity for you to step back into something you've done before. And you're a little concerned that you don't want to get stuck there, but that might be exactly what you need to do in order to regroup and then take a step ahead. You see, so that would not be a bad thing. Health-wise, also something is recurring from the past, but it looks like it's an opportunity to heal it once and for all. It's not like, oh my God, here it is again. It's okay. Let's just take care of this and deal with it. Okay, and I think that all that is good. Do you have grown children?
I do.
Yeah, because
Yes, I do.
yeah, you're going to be having a visit, a very nice visit from at least one of them coming up really soon too. That's nice. So, what's your specific question?
Mostly around career. I actually am not working right now, and I'm trying to figure out what the next stage in my life is, what a life path would be that would be of most help.
The question I want to ask you, was there something that when you were a whole lot younger that you really wanted to go into that you didn't? You laid it aside because responsibilities and other people's expectations directed you down a different path. Do you remember that thing, whatever that thing was? Because
No.
right now, if you can wrap your mind around that, right now you have the opportunity to go back and either re-educate for that or open that door back up again. This is a healing time for you. It's a healing time. It's an opportunity for you to develop healing skills, to go into the healing field perhaps, but it's also an opportunity for you to go back and address something that you feel you lost from the past, that you can bring into your life right now. And I do think that's in terms of career that we're looking at. You may be a little bit, was this like you had a chance to go to college or to do this, but it would have been away, so you didn't go?
The only thing I can think of is that at one point I was looking at taking a course in communications and writing. But I don't feel like I really missed out on anything with that. I have been told in the past that I should be doing something in a healing field or teaching, and this was actually by John Edward. I was read by him many, many years ago.
Now I agree.
But I don't know what that would be. I cannot figure out for the life of me what that would be.
Take it back to there was an opportunity, and it'll come to you, and you can write me on it so that I'll know. But there was an opportunity, and it was years back. This would have been at least 10 years ago. And it was an opportunity to take a class or to go to school for something that would have felt like, yes, this is exactly what I need to do. This is who I am. But it would have required you to travel. It would have required you to either make a move or be away for too long. You couldn't do it. So you passed it up. That's the thing that you have the opportunity to get re-involved with again. And it might very well be that it has to do with something with teaching or healing. Okay? But when you say, what should I do? You have the opportunity in your life right now to re-educate for that field, and you're young enough to do it.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. I'm still not 100% sure what it would be. I'm hoping that a door will open or something will hit me on the head and tell me what exactly it is.
I think it's the teaching. The thing is, what do you want to teach? I think it's the teaching. Do you want to teach psychic development? Do you want to teach art? Do you want to teach communications? You are a natural-born teacher, and you could teach just about anything. So the question is, what do you want to teach? But I do think the key is, and do you want to teach it in your home, or do you want to teach it for an organization, or do you want to teach it in business, or do you want to go back and get an education degree and teach in the school system? I think it's about teaching.
Okay.
Okay?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Good luck. Bye-bye. And
Bye-bye.
We are out of time, but I just want to remind you again, get it on your calendars. The 13th of March is our next psychic hour. And if you did not have a chance to get your question answered this evening, you can write just one question. The email address to send that to is right there on GoToMeeting. And Lisa and I, over the next month, we'll do our best to get to as many of those as we can. We don't always get to all of them, but we do make a valiant attempt. And, of course, you can save that question and come back next month on the 13th and ask it then. The Psychic Fair in Tampa is going to be March 18th. Lisa's Messages session in Tampa is going to be March 19th. My Psychic Development Level 3 and 4, that's channeling and mediumship, introduction to both of them. That's going to be from March 17th through 20th. It's an immersion. My Psychic Children webinar, it's here online, is going to be on March 24th. And all the way at the end of April or middle of April, on April 18th, is the Anastasi Psychic Cruise. So we've just got a whole lot of stuff coming up this spring. And I do hope that you're going to be able to share as much of it with me as you possibly can. Thank you, everyone, for having been here with me this evening. This has been just such great energy on this call. Wonderful, wonderful group. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you back here again next month. Good night.